We are live. Hello there. Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome, not to QI, but to another episode of the Minecraft Creative Stream. I am, as always, just about to share this to my social media, so please bear with me uno momento while I get that all up and running and shared. Should not take me too long, as I've now figured out how to do that properly, as the YouTube algorithms aren't letting me share it the normal way, so I'm having to manually search my own stream, which is fine by me. All I need to do is do that, and in a moment it will appear live. Hopefully, potentially, maybe. Let's refresh our page, and hopefully we won't have the same pain in the proverbial as we did last time. So just go Minecraft Creative Stream episode 6. Nope, okay. Manually searching isn't working for it tonight. That's interesting. That's very interesting. Unless I've changed the name of it, but I don't think I've changed the name of it. Let's just put in my own name into the YouTube algorithms. Right, okay. First 5 episodes of that. Here we go, live. There we go. Okay, and then we just click the share button. The Mighty Book of Faces. And we just type in Minecraft Creative episode 6. And there we go, the job's good in. So I can now put my mobly phone away, and we can start doing some stuff in Minecraft. Hi Sid, nice to see you in the comments, and thank you for joining for another fun-filled episode of I do some stuff on a video game just because I feel like it. Now, I've had a few ideas. I've been looking at a couple of different creators and their content, and the one thing I've realised is that as lovely as a lot of my buildings and the things around are, because Minecraft works with blocks, it's all very linear and it's all quite blocky. So we're doing something a little different tonight. I have laid the foundations for what we're going to do, because a while ago we discovered this big old pile of rocks in the distance here, and I decided I wanted to build something on top of it. I was umming and ahhing as to whether to do a dragon or something, but then I've decided no, because that A sounds very difficult, but B, it just doesn't really fit with what I'm doing. So you can see here, I've already laid out some blocks. I'm going to try something I've never tried before. I'm going to do a proper sphere, a big old sphere, and going to turn it into a tower, and maybe try and put a dome on top of it and turn it into like a observatory. So let's have a crack. So I've got it as, this is the centre square, and when you're doing circles, always work in odd numbers because physics and shizzle. And then we've got 2, 4, 6, 7 blocks out, and all of our spokes are going to be the same. So we're going to go to iron, we're going to go 2, 4, 6, and then the 7th one's going to be here. And I'm just putting the sandstone down as a temporary measure. What we're going to hopefully do is, once we've done the basic skeleton of the building, we're going to sculpt it to fit the rock. So for the time being, we're just making a platform, just so it's a bit easier for my brain to compute what I'm doing. So we go 2, 4, 6, and 7, and we go 2, 4, 6, and 7. So that is a square crossy thing, and I've seen a technique as to how we get around that, and I think it goes like this. So we're going to experiment, we're going to see if we can get it. So we're going to go 2 across on each bit, and I think if we do that, oh no, we've got to go there, 2, 2, 2, 2. I'm just doing it in gold so it stands out for the time being. We can switch out the building materials at a later point, because gold looks a bit gaudy. Right, and then I think what we do is we do another 2, potentially. And then we do 1 and 1. Is that it? No, that isn't it. Okay, we're going to have to recalculate. What if we block under? What we block in? Go down like that. Then we go 3, and then we go 1 and 2. This is where it's going to be a complicated stream, I think. How does that look? No, that needs to be... Kind of. No, that's overly. So this is where this is why I said that we're going to experiment a bit, and we're going to try and get it right. So I'm thinking maybe it's just 2, and then 1, and then 1, and then it's 2. No, because that doesn't work either. Then. Oh! I'm making weird noises. That can only mean one thing. I'm having a stroke. No, I'm not having a stroke. Okay, let's try this. We block under, and then we go across and across. No, because that's still not even. Oh, that's Maybe I don't want 7. Maybe I want it to be more than 7. Have I miscounted or something? I've miscounted. That's what's happened there. Right. Okay, we're going to try this again, and we're going to do this properly. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we go 6, 7. Let's get rid of those. We go 6, 7, and link. That's what was going wrong there. Cool. Right, we're there. We figured it out. So now we can go to 2, and then we can go 1, 2, and yes, there, that one there. Awesome-o. Now we're cooking with gas. So it's 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. Then it's 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. And from above, that should look like a circle, and it does. Cool. Okay, that's the fiddly bit out of the way with. And now what we can do is we're going to build it up for a few blocks. We don't want it being super tall, but we want it to be kind of like this level, I think. Because we're also going to build below it. Because then there's going to be a trickier bit that we're going to try and do. This is the bit I'm really going to hate. Because we've obviously built our markers, right? We've built our markers there, so we know where the centre point is. So I'm going to mark up actually the centre point now while I think too. Because what we do when we get to this level is we're going to fill it in, and that's where we're going to start building our dome. But to do that, we're going to need to do the same as we've done down here on top, which is going to be complicated. I'm not sure my brain can handle it, but we will try. This is all experimental, and we're going to see what happens. Fingers crossed it will look all G, all good. As my friends the Aussies say. All G. Not orgy, all G, just to clarify. That other one's something else. One more block, and up we go. So this is the boring bit where I do blocking up, so feel free to shout out questions and comments and all the rest in the comments section below. And I will endeavour to answer them and just have a gay old time, as the Flintstones used to sing in the theme song. The traditional meaning of that word, not the other meaning of that word. Not that there's anything wrong with that either. I talk about the most inane stuff when I stream. I really do. Today has been an interesting one. Just finished watching a bit of Doctor Who, which was lovely. My favourite two-parter in season 4, The Silence in the Library and The Forests of the Dead, which is all about Don't Go Into the Shadows, the Vashta Nerada, and of course the debut of one Professor River Song. Although ironically it is the last episode she's in if we're talking chronologically. Technically yes, technically no actually. Spoilers. Right, here we go. This is looking good. Oh my goodness, there's a lot of blocks. How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? Sydney has just asked. This much. This much wood is how much a woodchuck would chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood. There we go. Ask a stupid question. Up we go. It's gonna look pretty sweet when we're done, I hope. We're well over halfway there. Oh. Cheeky Dalek. Now this is just a small one. We're only doing it with it's a circumference of 7 blocks, so a diameter of technically 15 because we've got the centre block as well actually, so it's technically a diameter of 7.5 blocks. But yeah, always work in odd numbers when you're doing large circles made out of pixels or blocks, as anyone who does pixel art or Minecraft will be able to tell you, I'm sure. Just had a nice quiet Saturday. Everybody else seems to be either doing stuff or just kind of hiding from the rain, because it has been pretty rainy in the southwest today. So I've had a hibernation day of doing very little other than gaming, TV, housework, and I had some chips with some curry sauce on earlier on. They were quite nice. A little bit of homemade gubbins there. So I've just been trophy hunting for the better part of the day, playing through a really good game, which I would highly recommend to all of you. It's an episodic game called Life is Strange. And just to give you a brief overview, it does involve elements of time travel. You play as a young woman called Max Caulfield, and it's set in modern day, and basically she discovers through a series of quite surprising and unpredictable events that she has the ability to to rewind time, to control time, to manipulate time to her whim and to her whimsy. So pretty cool. Right, so what we're gonna have to do, I think, is treat this row here as the centre block. So I'm gonna make it gold again. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna go 2 above like we have here, which means then we need to go in 1 and up 2, and then delete that one. Then we go in 1, and then this is the complicated bit. We're going to have to put another one here, and then we go in 2 again, then in 3, 4, 5, and if I've done this right, this one here should line up with this. So let's just test our little theory. Boom. Okay. Right, that's the easy bit done. Also, I've realised that I need to make this out of glass, but what we're going to do is we're going to do an arch first. We're going to do both of the cross arches with this, with the metal, and then we will figure out the rest as we go. So 1, 2, in 1, 2, in 1. Then in, oops, in 1, 2, crush that one. There we go. That all looks equal to mine eye. Oh, this is a complicated thing. It's a Saturday evening. It's like 10 o'clock on a Saturday, and I'm trying to do, blimey, geometry and stuff. What's going on with my life? So that's 2. Then we go in 1, 2. In 1, in 1, 2. Or have I cocked that up? Oh no, I've not. That's why. Forgot that. Let's do that now. On the other side. So again, we're just using the golden blocks as markers for now. It's probably not going to be the final aesthetic of the building. Could be worse, to be fair. So we've gone up. So we go in 1, 2. Break the block. Oops, broke one too many. Let's get that one back. And it's in and up 1, in... Oh, I can't get my angles right today. Right, there we go. Okay. Now this is where it's going to get a bit fiddly and a bit complicated, and what we want really is we want our flooring laid down at this point. So I'm going to think very briefly about materials, and then I'm just going to decide that we're going to just use some very basic oak wood planks for the time being. And we're just going to fill this area completely in. Because I've got other ideas for other parts of this as well. So if it's an observatory, what I'm thinking is this. It does need to have some form of telescope protruding from it. And I've not actually looked up anything regarding that or planned it out. So we're going to try and wing that. And because we're going to wing it, I'm going to choose a side that we're going to look out on. I think over this direction looks good because it's towards the corner. And we like that. Or then maybe we go above the town actually. I'll have a think. We're not at that stage just yet. Right. So now what we need to do, we need to get some glass out, I think. And we want it just to be clear glass. And this is what we've got to do now. This is the fiddly bit. Oop. We've got to mark it out exactly as it is. Oop. On the rest of it, on the arches. And then we can figure out what to do with the rest of it. This is something I've never tried before. It could all go horribly, horribly wrong. And that's where the fun is, I guess. So you see this bit here is where I'm going to be not sure what to do. So I think we go up. And then here we go in one. Oh, I don't have a clue what I'm doing now. Oh, this is... Up, so I went up to there, and then I'm going to go in one and up two. And then get rid of that one. Okay, let's just try and do the lower bit first. Up and go up. There we go. Okay, that might need to go as might that, because then we need to go in, up. Oh, this is complicated. If I do go quiet, I apologise, but I'm working with things that I'm not used to working with. Yeah, that's right. When we go, those two go in. Oh, blimey! This is a bit of a mind bender. Ooh, okay. I reckon we want to go here, and then we want to go up and up. That looks alright, and then we can get rid of that one. But then here we'll go... will we? Here we'll go and up and get rid of that, and then here we'll go up and get rid of that. I think that's it. And then there's one here, there's a gap, is there? Yeah, there's a gap, okay. Which I guess is going to be block, and then we go inside and we smash the one from the inside there. Okay, right, that looks good. Okay, yeah. Because then what we're going to do is we're going to have to transition all of these into glass as well. But before we do that, let's just try this again. See if we can get it looking equilateral. Oh, I started with the corner. I was going to do the telescope. Okay, we're doing telescope the other side now. That's decided. Although to be fair, it's just good practice at this point as well to learn how to do this. Not something that I've ever tried building before. In fact, let's do all of it. We'll go 2 in to match up with the fact that we're 2 blocks in here. My brain is like jelly at the moment. Ugh. Right. And then... oh, please work. Also just realised I haven't figured out a way I'm getting in here once I've sealed it all off, so I'm probably going to want to do that as well. So in fact, let's just do this right now. Let's just knock out a hole in the wall. There we go. That's our little gap to get in and out now. Okay, and carry on with the glass. Sid, what have you been up to today? You've been hard at work, haven't you? Have you done any more art? Saw some of the pixel art on your Instagram. The Hades one looked particularly cool. Also, he's voiced by James Wood, so he's just a cool character anyway. Right, let's see. I have to go over this side. Currently drawing Hades. Cool. Right, it was 2, 1, 1, 1, 2. Cool, that's easy. So that's 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, 1, 1, and 2. It's a really bad kind of dance. Okay, that's the first bit. So then on the ones, we were going between the ones and we're building up, basically. So oh, I see. I can get rid of those as well now. Yes, that makes sense. I think... oh, this is complicated. My life, this is actually rather complex. So it's 4, 1, 4, which is 4. Oh, of course. Okay, this might be easier if we do from the top, because then we just go down a layer and we go... and we go down a layer and we go... haha, okay. Alright. Alright. Oh, from glasses it's see-through. It's actually straining my eyes just to look at it. Blimey. Oh, of course. Okay, I think I figured it out. So with each of these, we're just literally going... okay, I think we're there. We just need to do that one bit there, which is... hang on, let's go out. Got ourselves trapped a little bit in our brains here. Right, so it's 2 on that layer. That's where we're getting confused. I think that's... Not mistaken, that's as he should be, but there's probably 1 too many somewhere. Oh, that looks quite cool. Let's get in here and have a wee look. Is it these 2? No. That was okay there. It's that one. Boom. That is as it should be now. Oh, that's brain hurt. Proper brain hurt going on there. So all we need to do here is, I think, in smash, and then in smash, then layer up. Is that right? That extra one doesn't need to be there. Why is that 2? Why is that not? Oh bother! This has gone wrong. This one. I'm struggling to see how. Right, let's go around here. Look what we got. So that's not. So we've got single, single, double, and here we've got single, double, okay. That's where we went wrong. Okay, cool, so we just need to go inside and fill those ones in from the inside. Oh, can I do it from here? From cheeky sideways? No, that's going to be too far out. Let's try here. There we go, and then we can go... Right, that's correct now. And then just go inside and smash those 2 bits that we don't want. You wouldn't think it's this much hard work, but it really is. Right, so that one and that one. There we go. All looking equilateral now. Which means we just need to do this one, so it's another set of singles here. So it's that. It's that. Then these ones are just doubles, so we go in, smash, up, in, smash, up, in, smash, up, and here we just go in, smash, ooh, in, smash. Right. Okay. And is there a gap here again? Oh, why is there a gap? Better. Yes, that's it. Cool. That's all of it filled in except for this now. So now the bit that's going to break my heart to do a little bit. I'm worried that I'm going to cock it up, but I won't because I've got the glass to go off from. Oh, this is going to look really cool. I've not bothered with the telescope yet. That's something we can look at a later point potentially. Keep the gold there for a minute just as a marker point. Oh, this is beginning to come together. Right now, over me. And look at that. And then I could be even more clever in a second, and you'll like how I'm more clever in a second. But first, let's finish this bit off. Let's not run before we walk. That is a dome on a tower. And just going to make the dome even more dome-like, I think. Make it a major domo. My jokes please me and only me, and I don't care. Keep the gold one up there. So now all we do is this. Oops. Now it is a dome. We can get rid of the gold from the inside. And also these ones can be turned into the steel now, which is nice. Keep that in the centre for a minute though. There we are. Look at it. Isn't it lovely? Isn't it just lovely? Get in and do some other bits in a minute, but let's seal that off for a sec. Get that. So now we've got to figure out our telescopy bit, and this is the bit I'm kind of dreading because I've got no idea how it should look. But I have a rough idea. So what we're going to do, we're going to have... Oh, it'll be coming straight out, I guess, won't it? So, do we even need a telescopy bit? Also, I don't like that nipple at the top there. Let's just make that flat. Much better. Otherwise, it looks a bit daft. A bit too pointy. Right. Let's do a bit of housekeeping for a second, because otherwise my brain will explode from having thought too many sensible, serious thoughts. Could just be an observatory, couldn't it? Right, well, that's the flooring done. And this will be actually where people come up, I think. We're going to make it the central bit. So what we're going to do in here is going to make just a little bit of a... I'm going to lay it out for myself for a later point. But that's going to be the little pathway where we're going to stick a ladder. They're going to go jump up here. Now, in terms of what we're actually doing, so I like that the glass is the kind of at floor level, but I'm going to... I'm not sure. Thoughts, I have many, many thoughts. Where's the best view? You see all of the kingdom really from there. Okay, this is going to be ambitious. But what I'm thinking is this, what material will we make it out of first of all? It'll be... Let's have a look. What does this material look like first of all? Let's have a look. No. Not that one. Polished blackstone is probably a good shot. Chiseled polished blackstone. That's a bit more like it. And that's kind of where we want it as well. So, this is the basis for our telescope. This is going to hurt me mentally to try and work this out. But we only have to do it on one side is the good thing. So let's get back out now. Let's go through the glass here. Just going to glass it up because otherwise I'm going to forget where it is. We need to make kind of like a funnely bit coming out, don't we? So let's get some of the black stone. And we're going to make it... Oh, well that was a bit rubbish of me, wasn't it? Basically we're going to make it fit the glass that is coming through. So that's a cube now. So what we'll do is we're just going to block out a cube, I think. I am not doing this right. That needs to be like that. That's equal. But also we want it to come up a bit higher. Ah, I know exactly what we want. We want it 9 by 9. Or 3 by 3 even. So 9's... Oh, I know what I mean, even if nobody else does. And now we need to try and get that kind of expanding out this way a bit. I wish I was clever enough to figure this out first time. Whoop, not that. Basically, we need to stagger it by 1 each time we do this. Oh, okay. Right, we can do this. Might look rubbish, we might decide not to do it this way, but for now, this is okay. Might even make it 4. You know, that's actually not looking too bad. We're going to make it a bit thicker at the other end as well, of course. Then, once we get a bit further out, let's do it 1 or 2 more times. I'm glad we chose this material. We're going to actually make it a bit thicker again now. So this time we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. This is complicated. There's a gap there, and I can't remember why. Ah, that's why. Oh, this is this has become troublesome. So let's fix that. Oh, it's got to be a... It's going to be 5 by 5, isn't it? Okay, yeah, odd numbers. This is what I said about working with cubing and odd numbers. This is going to be a factor now moving forward. see how this looks. I need to go one more above as well. Make this a 5 by 5 basically. Worry about filling that in a minute. In fact, let's do that now. Right, there we go. I think that's... yeah, that's okay. So the question is this, do we do it here? I think we do it below. Let's see how that looks from a distance, because then, yeah, that's actually kind of what we want to go for a little bit. Because then what we can do is we can knock through 3 here, and there, and there, and there, and there. It makes sense in a minute, I promise. Ooh. Yeah, like that. It's got 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Okay. Oh, this is a bit trickier than I thought it was going to be. But I think what we do is this. We're then going to put some iron here. Just for sake of simulating what I want to simulate. Okay. So from a distance that looks alright. Because now we want to round it off a bit and make it look a bit less in your face. So let's knock through those again. Reasons you always work with different colours. Okay, so we're going to go for the glass. And then what we're going to do is we're going to smooth it off a bit. And back as well. Make it a bit less in your face there. But we could even go so far as to do that, couldn't we? Might even build it out a wee bit. Right, let's try this. Build that out by 2 each. Build this one out by 1 each. And then below, above, behind, 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 behind. Also that one. Meaning we gotta do this on the side. And basically now we want to block on top of these, which hopefully give us the desired effect of making it look a bit more like it's got a bit of depth. That looks good. That looks a bit better. Although, do we want to give it a different substance, I wonder? Let's try it with the iron. I hate to go back over what we've literally just done, but it's all trial and error. Sometimes, some days it's more error than trial, and some days it's more trial than error. Sometimes it's a bit of both. Oh, hello. Bye-bye. There you go. Gear off my bike. Gear off my land. That looks a bit more full. In fact, what we can now do, so those blocks that look like they're floating, as much as we can go in. There. And we'll just add one there as well. And one there by default. I don't know what I'm doing. That's all that. So I'll get rid of that one, I think. What's happened with that one on the other side? There's two out. Is that right? Ah, that's what I'm not doing. Oh no, that's not. Those should be... Hey, what have I done there? 1, 2, 3. Oh, I've added. Silly me. Let's even that on top as well. That kind of works. Kind of works. Thoughts, Sid? Oh, I've had a thought. We want to give it a bit of a light as well, don't we? Right in the centre. Smash through that one and that one. Cool, okay. That can go there. There we are, that's a bit better. At least in my brain. Cool, we've got ourselves a little observatory with a dome. And now we can worry about this bit down here. Because I don't like how, obviously, it does look quite obvious that I've built a platform into that there. So what we're going to do now is we're going to knock the platform back to fit the shape of the observatory. And then we're going to try and make it feel a bit more organic. Whoosh. Just kind of have a little shave around it. Trim off the unnecessary pieces. Admittedly now it looks like it's floating a wee bit, but we're going to do something about that in a sec. Because if you look at this, these are all down here. So all we need to do is get the sand out. Although I haven't decided if I want to make this much deeper, and I think we might make it a bit deeper. So, okay, we're going to do something a bit controversial now. We're going to go inside. We're going in. Ooh, if we can fit through the damn thing. Hole, gap. Also, we'll keep that there because it'll give us some light. Right, these were all of our marker stones. We're going to get rid of them now. Simply because we don't need them anymore. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to dig down. So we're going to go down, I reckon, 20 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 20. Oh well, let's just keep going. Right. This is going to be a little time consuming, so we're not going to do it all now, but I'm just going to do a good section of it. And we're going to do a line all the way out to the... Blimey, there we go. And let's just build it back up there. Whoosh, up we go. Okay, so we're going down that level to each of these, and what the plan is that it's going to come out somewhere around the lower echelons of the tower. In fact, we can probably count it out, but I'm not going to do that right now. But hopefully somewhere around here. And then we're going to build an entrance into the side of it. As for the rest of this, we're going to try and blend it in a bit. Just a bit, just so it doesn't look quite so stuck on. But yeah, that dome I'm very pleased with. The telescope, it could use some work. I'm going to look at some other people's designs and tweak it as I go on. But what I will do now, try and smooth it down a wee bit. Add those bits that I got rid of at first. Just because I want it to look like it's got a spine to it, if that makes sense. Whenever you see these big observatories, IRL, they always seem to have that kind of, you know, cone kind of shape protruding out of wherever they are. But, you know, it doesn't look terrible for the time being. I'm happy with what we've got at the moment. So let's build up a wee bit here. Let's make sure this is all in line, because before I start digging through the rest of it, everything is going to need to come in line with this this flipping observatory, isn't it? What I'll also do is I'll maybe stick some more stick a wee bit more I can't speak tonight. Stick some more buildings in our village. We might go back and do some villaging in a bit. Right, let's do that there. So there is going to be a lot of building on this side of the wall, I think, or this side of the observatory. So look at how much we've got to build into. So let's start lining them up and going up. This one here. And this one here. Then the next one is here. And there's one more. Whoops, I can't speak English tonight. Alright, bear with, I'm just going to quickly grab the old swiggy of the water. Drinking from my my nice flagon, which is a glass flagon I picked up from HMV in the style of the Prancing Pony bar or inn from the Lord of the Rings. So little cheap plug for that. Yeah, you know what? It's just this little bit here that we need to do actually. So it's not as much work as I thought it would be. Let's just keep elevating this. Oh, and there's one more. We need to do this one. So the idea is this: once we get all of this lined up, and as we want it, yeah, that's it there. We can then hollow it through and start building our staircases or our whatever we want to build as our method to get up onto the roof. Really. Ooh, blimey, that's a bit of a deep dive. And I completely messed that up. There we go. And elevate. Elevation. Ooh, I don't really like that particular U2 song, but well. We're there. And if we move away now, it looks a bit more organic. So let's get back inside and start doing some diggering. If I can get in the building, because my motor skills are failing me tonight, it would appear. And what we will do as well, how many blocks do we have before we're at the edge? Got 3 and then we're out. So what we're going to do is we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Let's have a little peeky outside. Oh, blimey. We're in the deep part. Have we not gone under the... We've not gone under the ground, there's daylight there. How far from? Okay, so I reckon to get a ground level. No, you know what? That's actually good. That's a good level. I like that as the level because we can do steps and stuff to go into it. So that's fine. So what we need to do now instead is just to smashy, 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 smashy back through. Oh, that's cool. We like that. Yeah. So basically now we just need to gut it a bit. So... Oh, balls. Oh no, that's fine. Thought I'd gone on the wrong side of it for a minute there. Oops. A little far, but that's okay. Let's mark it actually with iron, just so we know where we're at. Lovely, lovely, lovely. And let's get here. Where's our centre mark? There's our centre mark. So what we're going to do now is that we're actually going to go down and do the centre mark all the way down through the core of the construction. Boom. Now you might have noticed there's a lot of sand here, but there's also a lot of sandstone. There's not as much sand as I thought. You know what? It's going to be more... I was hoping it would be more sand, because there's a little hack you can do where you can stick a torch under sandstone as you dig through it. And you basically, you cut through the... what do you call it? You cut through the sand automatically as it falls onto your torch. Just going to clear out... I say we probably won't clear all of this out on the stream. I'm just going to make a good dent in it, just so we can have a bit of a visual as to what we're working with. We're definitely going to clear around the support pillar. Give it a bit more daylight. I wonder, was that a little cheat I just found? Do a little jump speeds it up, that's helpful to know. So if I go from jumping into floating mode and hold trigger as I go down, you can barrel through a lot of this a lot more quickly than you'd expect to. To the point that I went way too far there. Blimey. Absolutely annihilated it, absolutely moosed it. Well, with great power and all that, I guess. 2, 4. Oh, of course, the sand that I dropped. That's the exit, so let's just mark that as the furthest point. Boom. Alrighty. Progress is being made here today on this thing. Progress City is a beautiful city. Could even make like a little viewing platform or something here, I guess, couldn't we? A little balcony. Let's just get through these 3 more blocks. And maybe actually do something for the entrance as well. And as always, we work in the rule of 3, meaning that we're going to have 3 across as our exit. So Whack a hole through here. Whack a mole. Whack a mole, whack a hole. I'm having a weird evening, I do apologise. And there we go. Daylight is, well, daylight, twilight, nightlight is there. So now we can work out what we're going to do as our little entrance. So the initial thing I want to do is just remove these, just to make it look a bit more, you know, get it down to a proper staircase level. Probably going to need to go further back by one. Look at that. E is a beauty. E is a beauty. And we're going to make it look proper natural as well. So we're just going to go for some classic stone stairs. So here we are. We go here, here, here. Oops. 3 across as always. Well, I say as always. Sometimes I do 4, but I prefer 3. Just looks better. Now, I could have gone even more natural and gone for sandstone coloured bricks, but I want it to contrast and to pop out a little bit. Just because I like the look of it, if I'm being very honest. Smooth stone. Let's do that here. And that links up, look at that. Already that looks much better than it did. Also going to build around a little gateway or a doorway here, so let's just do that in the... build through the sandstone for that. Oops-a-daisy. Oh, that works. In fact, let's do it that way. Do this. Maybe we just get rid of that. Yeah, this is going to look good. And one more for good luck. Beautiful. And there we go. Little path into the mountain. Oh, I like how that looks now. That looks really good. Okay. So the idea is you come up here, you go through, and this will be hollowed out as the centre of the tunnel, or the centre of the tower. I hate it when the game makes weird and spooky noises. That's a little faster. Have they updated the game? They've updated the game, I can now do the down marking. Oh, wunderbar. So much easier. Oops, if I can get the angle on my cursor right. I'll clear through that in no time now. Very nice. Won't do all of this now. Better things to do with our life than that. But let's just quickly do those ones there. There we are. bit more spacious in there now. The sun is coming up, so let's go and do something else. I don't know why I'm walking. Let's do the floaty thing. Ooh. Oh, we've been down here before. It's just water and stuff. Not very exciting at all, I'm afraid. Do 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 do. Copyrighted, so can't do the rest of it. But you all got the gist there. There's lots of little tunnels in the sand here. This one's a little cave system. Oh, isn't that quaint? Little cave system. Hopefully that picks up okay on camera. Ooh. Ooh, it goes deep. It goes deep, deep. It goes right down. Oh, and it still keeps going. Blimey. There's water there. Ooh. Oh, hello, and there's lava. Ah, we found a little underground there. Look at that. Some gold, which if we were in normal mode, we could just crack up open for gold, but we don't need it because we're on creative and everything is here at our disposal already. And redstone there. How deep does it go? Right, let's do the old Superman flying through the... let's hopefully not destroy anything that we've made. But let's fly through the surface. There we go, look at that. Smack dab in the middle of the desert. And hide our sins. That could have been disastrous if I'd come up in the middle of one of those towers and, you know, destroyed a wall or something. Right, let's clear our toolbar for a minute. And let's have a think about what we're going to do next in the village. Last time we did our little emerald fountain, which is still going strong there. We've got our supermarket and our bookstore. Again, all good. So we've got plenty of space to do other things here. And I've been thinking about what we could potentially look at doing. So, let's have a look-see. We've got a little hut here, we've got a little village space here as well, which is cute, and a blacksmith's here. So let's have an inn. We're going to do an inn in this lovely space here, because it's quite a big space. So to do that, we need to choose some materials, and I quite like the thought of the spruce wood being involved here. A pet store's a good shout. I'm going to try and do some stables and a pen and that kind of stuff at a later point. In fact, we might actually make a horse pen at the front of the inn as well. So let's have a little look at what we've got for materials. We want to have a second substance other than the spruce wood just to offset everything with. I think on this one we're going to go for a type of stone. We'll go for diorite, I think. Yeah, let's try that. Let's see where it is here. That's quartz. Maybe it isn't just like an option. Oh, there we go, polished diorite. Ooh, I don't like that. Actually, that's not bad. I was about to slate it and decided not to. Right, so 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7. Working out our sizes first of all. So 14, 15, 16, 17 across. Which means it's going to be 15 across. So, because obviously this is going to go down this way. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Whoops, a daisy. So the basis is going to be a square. But then we're going to do tweaky things with it so it's not a square anymore. So the core of the building itself will be square shaped. However, let's work this out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. That's exactly what we wanted. I mean, that'll be the roof. So I've marked off the first, second floor, and then the roof. There we go. Cool. Going for the corners all being the same height and whatever. Let's see if this goes across the right level. It's 1 too high, that's fine. Boom. There we go. More or less. More or less there. So the twist is this. Oh, is that going to encroach? Maybe a bit. Fine, we're going to do it that way. I'm changing with the flooring is just to explain a little bit. Let's get rid of that just so I know. And now what we're going to do is we're going to build it out a wee bit. So it's going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's going to go on top of this. Whoops. Just a little bit to give it a bit of a different shape to other buildings, basically. Blimey, that's right on point as well. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out, meaning this side has also got to be... Oh, if I get the height right, let's just double check the height. It's got to be one below. That's going to cause problems. Actually, that might not cause problems. All we need to do is knock through this bit here. Haha! Oh, that works, okay. Right, we just need to do something tactical with the rest of the wall. Oh, okay, that's fine. We need to destroy that block in a minute anyway. That's fine. That's okay by me. Cool. Okay. This is okay so far. These bits obviously are going to need to be gotten rid of, as they are now all going to be part of the inside of the building, or at least the flooring. Oh, I don't want to do the floor like that, do I? I hate it when the wheels of my brain move faster than the rest of me. Right, okay, so we've got first floor and second floor, and the second floor comes out a bit, which is good. That's what we wanted. Might have made it a tad high, but... Uh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh. The reason I'm getting rid of this layer is because I wanted to work out the lowest area of it, so it was there just while we were toying and fiddling around with different structures and different sizes. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Gap 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this will be the height of the building. And we can get rid of this because that will be just too tall and it'll look a bit gaudy. Boom. Actually, maybe we could keep that. No, we don't. Right, okay. Ideas are kind of flowing, it's all good. There we are, lovely. Okay, so that all links up now, more or less, except for this one, which I forgot. So that is going to be the basic outline of the inn. Oh, and that one, blimey, I'm having a moment. Okay, okay, yes, good, all right. So now we're going to try and work out the front of it. Now the front I always like to do with like a nice natural wood, so let's go and have a look at our LOL natural woods. We've got oak wood, we've got spruce wood, stripped spruce wood as well. Let's have a look at the oak wood. I know we're using spruce on the inside, but that's okay by me. Does that look a bit much? That looks a bit much. Don't like that. We might go for a concrete instead of a wood this time and just like do wooden beams. Ooh, that's a nice idea. Okay. Let's have a look at our concrete, and I think we'll go for a nice basic kind of colour. That's wool, not concrete. Oh, blimey, what happened there? Do not know what happened there. Just jumped all over the menus. Just have one nice look at the woods, just in case there's anything that tickles my proverbial pickle. Well, there's terracotta as well. Is that new? No. No, that can't be new. Is it new? Blimey. Let's have a look at that one then. Coloured clay. Huh? White concrete is always a good shout. Alright, let's have a look and see how that looks. Bit too in your face, but it's all good. Leave a little door gap and then off we are at the races. I'm going to hate myself, but I've decided what kind of colour scheme I want to go for and what I want to do, and it's going to involve getting rid of the stone pillars that we've done. Oh, bother. Oh, frustration has set in a little bit. Right, let's just quickly get into our inventory and have a look and see how this looks. There are two particular materials I'm thinking of. There are the crimson planks, and there's also, where are you? There we go. Crimson planks. And there's also the red concrete. Let's see how these look first. Nope. We're going red. Give it a kind of a very kind of almost like a commercial, but also not a commercial feel. Big eye-catching, vivid red, kind of like you get in Japan on the religious totems and whatnots you've got over there. Forgotten the actual name of those big posts that they have, but it is something like that. Boom. This is a bit better. I like the colour a lot more. I just do. Although red, not my favourite colour of all. My favourite colour of all is blue. But I'm a man of simple tastes. And we are back onto Little Mermaid. Without fail, on each of these streams I will reference it in some way, shape or form. Don't know why, it just kind of happens. My mouth opens and noises fall out. So I apologise for that. Skadoosh. Alright, and let's just do this one as well. Again, not going to do the entire building on the stream. Just going to get a rough kind of outline going on. We also want to get a bit of the flooring done. Decide on a bit of an interior. I am wondering if maybe the crimson planks will work. Certainly for the ground floor they will anyway. And do some carpeting as well at some point. My hand is going all over the place tonight, it really is. In game, just to be safe. Because I know what you people on the internet are like. Sinners, all of you. Ah, blimey. How goes the Hades drawing, Sid? Oh, Disney's Hercules wasn't bad as a film. It's not my favourite, but it's definitely not one of the worst ones they've made. Although, if we're talking Disney films that don't get enough appreciation for how good they are, Oliver and Company. Basically, think Oliver Twist, but set in New York with anthropomorphic dogs and a cat playing the character role of Oliver, and the Artful Dodger being played by a very, very famous singer, the piano man himself, Mr. Billy Joel. A lot of people don't know that. Billy Joel both sings and voices Dodge. Oh, it's been... So the Hades drawing is being blocked out and it's been completely mapped already, so cool. Looking forward to seeing that. Definitely looking forward to seeing that. What I might do at some point is potentially do... Again, this is going to be in like weeks or months because I've got a lot of different vlog plans to do. But I might try and get Sid to send me some pictures rather, not some originals, but some pictures of her artwork and include it in a vlog. That's something I would definitely like to do. I've got a lot of very creative friends, and I wouldn't mind trying to showcase some of them in a kind of in a show and tell style vlog, which would be pretty cool. I've got friends who work with wood, friends who paint, friends who draw. I myself play music. I play music. I play piano and I sing and I write stuff as well. And obviously, I do the vlogging. That in its own way is my art, I guess, if you like. Art is one of those wonderful things that can be whatever you do. I mean, even this game, this is a classic example of what art is. You're just being creative and making something appear out of just your imagination, really. And as cheesy as it is to say, it's true. Your imagination is your limit. That's it. You can do whatever the heck else you like. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll keep you posted, Sid. I know you've got a good few bits and pieces. I've also got that picture that I commissioned you to do, that little kind of chibi version of me from when we were working together. Still got that hidden around the house, as well as one of Bob Ross's, actually. Bob Ross did an anime-style version of me, and it looks like basically me if I'd been drawn in the style of Dragon Ball Z, kind of powering up. And it just says Nate's Desk, which is uber cool. I would definitely, though, hit Bob Ross up as well and see if he wanted to be showcased in one of my vlogs. Just like a couple of screenshots of his actual work, just so obviously don't want anybody copying it or claiming it as their own or anything like that. But there are some nasty people out there who do that, unfortunately. Which is why we can't have nice things. Thank you, Internet. There are two rules on the Internet. One of them is, if there is a version of it that exists, there's probably and this is the polite way I can, so I don't get demonetized by YouTube or any of that rubbish. Not that I'm monetized anyway. But adult entertainment version of it. It's rule, I can't remember the number of the rule. Bother. But there is a rule that basically says if it exists, there is probably an adult entertainment version of it on the interweb. Rule 41 or something, 42, I don't know. Which kind of sucks, but, you know, human beings, eh? What are you going to do? Shouldn't have done that. I made a boo-boo there. I also made a boo-boo there. Oh, we'll fix that. We'll fix that. We'll leave that there for the time being. We'll come back and do some tweaks and fixes at a later point, I'm sure. I'm forever fixing and fiddling and tweaking these maps and these worlds. But I say these worlds, it's just the one world, but there are loads of different projects I've got on the go. Like we started on an observatory, now we're building what I'm considering turning into like a Japanese hot spring resort almost, if there was a bit more space at the back maybe. Space at the front. I could do that at a later point or in another village, but this will just be an inn. We've settled on inn for the time being. Also, yeah, I'm blocking it up at the moment, but there will be windows and stuff. We're not going to just leave it as is. I'm going to give it some depth as well, but at the moment we're literally just doing a bit of... We're colouring in the outline at the moment, if you like. I'm aware as well, we've only got another half an hour left on the stream, because after the 2 hour mark, YouTube basically says, time for you to go to bed. So we don't get a stream any further than 2 hours before they start cutting it off, and I don't really want to lose the first part of this video, because the observatory was quite interesting footage. But I do stream a lot at the moment. I'm going to do some other games. I might even, if I've got time tomorrow, do another stream. Potentially might do... Not sure what might do. Let's do this in red just so I know which bit I need to fill out. Actually, no, I don't need to do that, do I? I can just do it in white as well and then block it back. Oh, I'm a dunce some moments. Don't worry, I've seen it. There we go. Satisfaction guaranteed. Lovely, there we go. And we'll do the same here, but not right now, because we've got limited time left on the stream. I want to do something else as well. So we've started on that. And we're going to give it like a brick kind of thatch roof, I think, maybe as well, or some such. Bit like that, but not quite as angular. So let's see what else we can do in our limited time remaining. And also, I will mute myself for another moment because I'm a little parched, so let's have a drinky poo. And we're back in the room. I do very much enjoy a good gulp of water every now and again. No tea tonight because it's a little late and I don't want to be up with my eyes twitching all night. I say that, but I know for a while that once I finish streaming, I'm probably going straight back onto Netflix and going to continue with some Doctor Who, or maybe some Jessica Jones or some Luke Cage or something, because I am rather behind, to be truthful, on the Marvel Netflix universe, which does tie in with their cinematic universe, I have to say, so I shouldn't really call it the Netflix universe. There was some exciting Spider-Man news today, or yesterday. Jamie Foxx is going to be reprising the role of Electro, which has piqued a lot of fans' interest because he played Electro in the Sony Spider-Man film starring Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man. Now, the theory is this. They're building, apparently, to having a multiverse introduced to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And the rumours are this. At the moment, cast as Quicksilver. Now, the Marvel Cinematic Universe version of Quicksilver was played by the same guy who plays Kick-Ass. Whereas Evan Peters plays Quicksilver in the, I want to say the Fox X-Men films. And so he's going to be introduced apparently in either Scarlet Witch and Vision in the limited series, or he's going to be introduced. We've just done a loop. I can't think of anything better to do. Let's continue with the. Let's continue with this. But yeah, he's going to be introduced in the Scarlet Witch and Vision series potentially, meaning that the Fox universe would be canonized under Marvel Cinematic Universe. Which, again, it's only a theory at this point. It could just be that he's got a cameo or that he's just making an appearance, but it would basically mean that the universes are connected, and I think that would be pretty darn cool. But bringing it back to Spider-Man, which was the original point I was making. So the rumour is basically that Jamie Foxx will be coming across, and he'll be fighting Tom Holland's Spider-Man. We've already seen in the Venom, in the Morbius trailer, that the villain from the first Marvel Cinematic Universe Spider-Man film, the Vulture, played by Michael Keaton, he's set to appear in the Morbius film, which is again part of Sony's Spider-Man universe, which it gets quite complicated, doesn't it? But I think what we're building to is either in Spider-Man 3, which is due out next Christmas, I believe, Christmas 2021, or possibly in a fourth film, or in its own film. The rumour is that we are getting all three Spider-Men who have been portrayed in live action. We are getting Tobey Maguire, Tom Holland, and Andrew Garfield in a live-action Spider-Verse style film. Including characters and people from those particular worlds. If this is true, and again, I take all things that I hear on the interweb with a pinch of salt, or maybe more than just a pinch. But if it's true, isn't that just the most exciting thing you've heard all day? It could be brilliant. Because I think the end game is that they want to... end game. Accidental, but funny. The idea is, I think, that they're going to be building to a Sinister Six movie, which is a supervillain team from the movies, or from the comics, I should say, sorry, which was teased in the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man run, but never actualised on screen. But basically, it was a team of I know, Sinister Six. You could have figured that out yourselves. But basically, in the comics, it was Vulture, Dr. Octopus, Electro, Kraven the Hunter, Sandman, Mysterio. I think that's... Hang on, let's go through it again. Mysterio, Vulture, Doc Ock. I'm having to pause while I actually do this on my finger. So Mysterio, Vulture, Doc Ock, Sandman, Kraven, Electro. Yeah, that's 6. So the original Sinister Six might well be appearing in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I mean, we've already got Vulture. Kraven the Hunter has been teased for Film 3. Electro is now confirmed for Film 3. Sandman, rumours have been that John Cena, of all people, might be portraying him on screen, so interested to see if there's any truth to that. Mysterio obviously was the villain of the last Spider-Man film, and was very, very well portrayed by Jake Gyllenhaal, or how he pronounces his damn surname. Very, very talented man, very enjoyable portrayal of that role. So yeah, it all seems to be falling into place for a big kind of crossover movie, I guess. And if it is true, I am very up for that. Very, very up for that indeed, if that's the route that they choose to go. It would just be wonderful to see that on screen, I think. I've been, a big Marvel fan for a number of years. I've thoroughly, and I do mean thoroughly, enjoyed everything they've done in this Marvel Cinematic Universe. Even like some of the rubbish films that people didn't necessarily enjoy. Like the Hulk film was a bit of an excrement show, to put it politely, because YouTube, and I try not to swear these days as much. But even the worst movies in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, like Thor: The Dark World, still better than a lot of movies, that you get these days. I hope I've left myself enough space. I think we have. DC. Okay, so Sid's just written in the chat, DC rules. Comics, I would agree. The comics, DC have always been a bit more real and a bit more gritty. Also, on television, I would say DC has beat Marvel. I'm a huge fan of shows like Flash and Arrow. The Netflix series Titans was mind-blowingly good. It was, for my money's worth, with the exception of the really good cartoon we got back in the back in the early noughties, I believe it would have been. It is my favourite version of the Titans to date. But in films, DC have been hit and miss. Wonder Woman was fantastic, and I think is my favourite. Or either that or Aquaman. Those two live-action movies were utterly brilliant, and I cannot fault them. Really can't. Just great movies, even if Aquaman was a tad derivative of the first Thor movie. Let's be honest, it was a little bit, but that's okay. Imitation is the most sincere form of flattery and all that. But yeah, so some of the DC movies have been absolute rubbish as well. I'm not going to go for the easy targets like Green Lantern. We all know how bad Green Lantern was. Truth be told, I didn't mind it. I enjoy Ryan Reynolds, even if the CG was a bit bad and the story was a bit predictable. My big problem with the DC movies, for example, Justice League. Obviously, there's a lot of controversy around Justice League because they didn't release the director's desired cut. Same for the original Suicide Squad as well, which is why that's kind of being retconned, and we're getting James Gunn from Guardians of the Galaxy fame to do a I'm not going to say a proper take, because that's a bit insulting and that's not really what it is, but to give his own spin on the Suicide Squad, which I have high hopes for. I'm wary of having high hopes because I've been hurt before. I'm a comic book fan, for crying out loud. I forgot what I was going to do here, so let's do this. There we go. That's what we wanted. Because we actually want the floor all on this level. That's why I built in an extra gap. Man of Steel was okay. It had some really good actors in, don't get me wrong, and it had some good moments. But there were parts of that movie which dragged and were just dull and boring. The Christian Bale Batman trilogy is still, for my money's worth, the best film trilogy, or certainly in the discussion of the best film trilogy of all time. And I'm a huge fan of that, and I will say that is DC at their very best. I've not been impressed with Batfleck. And of course, he's now not even going to be sticking around for his own film. He was there for Batman vs Superman, but Ben Affleck is he's done and dusted with DC for the time being. So again, not great really. Whereas you get guys like Robert Downey Jr. who played Iron Man in like 12 movies, and then you get Ben Affleck who's like, let's be honest, he was in Marvel's worst ever film, or one of Marvel's worst ever films, the Daredevil film from 2000 and I want to say 3 or 5. No, it was 2003, I want to say. Which, let's be honest, the only good thing in that movie was the fact that Evanescence were involved in the soundtrack. But Ben Affleck basically went from being a really crap version of Daredevil to being a really crap version of DC's version of Daredevil. Because let's be honest, Daredevil and Batman are kind of the same character. Admittedly, Daredevil's blind, Batman isn't, but they're both the dark, gritty vigilantes that you're meant to get behind. It just never really worked for me, Ben Affleck as Batman. Henry Cavill, on the other hand, as Superman, great casting. A bit disappointed, really, though, that they didn't do much with him. Because, again, his character itself was very one-dimensional. I would have much preferred to see Superman from the TV show Smallville come in, played by Tom Welling. Smallville, for my money's worth, is one of those shows that will go down the annals of superhero history as being just near perfect in places. Michael Rosenbaum as Lex Luthor, Tom Welling as Superman. Just the perfect pairing, really. And again, I don't think anyone's come close in recent years to doing either of those characters as much justice as Michael Rosenbaum and Tom Welling. Call me biased, but I grew up with Smallville, and I've not seen it done better since. I haven't. I truly have not. Blimey, I rant a lot about superhero stuff. I love my superhero films, if I'm being honest. That'll be a large part of it. Big fan. Trying to think what else DC have done recently, because that's the thing as well. Marvel have got a substantial head start on the DC films. I think, to be fair as well, actually, Marvel comics, because they're a bit lighter than DC, they're a lot easier to translate to film. Because they've got a lot of humour and a lot of comedy. If you look at stuff like the Ant-Man films, for example, a lot of it's quite absurd. You've got one scene in the first Ant-Man film, where Ant-Man's fighting Yellowjacket in his daughter's bedroom, and there's this ridiculous scene where they've shrunk down and they're on the toy train set, and this gigantic Thomas the Tank Engine collides with them, and then there's just a fast cut to, what you would expect a small train set colliding with a couple of miniature figures to look like. It just kind of topples over and it looks quite dumb. But in the best way. It's just that kind of humour you don't get very much in DC. And I think that's maybe a disadvantage they have against Marvel. Certainly in the films. Because, again, I know I'm biased, but the problem is that DC just don't do good movies very much. They don't. It's a shame. I want them to. I really want them to be successful and to do good movies, but a lot of the time it has been just a bit disappointing, really. Just a bit disappointing. We are approaching time on the video, which is a bit of a shame. That's more window level. I'm trying to decide if I want it going all the way through or not, but we'll fiddle around with that on another stream, or maybe off stream, and I'll come back and show you what I've done. We've got the basic template though for our in. I'm happy with that. Yeah, Aquaman is probably my favourite. I wouldn't say it's the best, but I'd say it's my favourite of the DC movies. I think the best for just sheer storytelling and world building is Wonder Woman. I thoroughly enjoyed what they did there. I'm quite excited to see what Wonder Woman 1984 looks like as well. Which, it really surprised me. I went to see Wonder Woman in the cinema, honestly, under duress. I didn't... I was told I was seeing it. I did not say I would want to go and see it, but I was rather glad I did. It's a great movie. Great movie. And they had some very good casting. Daniel Thewlis as the we'll call him main character just to avoid spoilers for anybody who hasn't yet seen it. You've got Chris Pine playing the typical Chris Pine character. Gal Gadot, however you pronounce her damn name, as the titular character. That wasn't a pun, I promise. That wasn't a boob joke, just because it's Wonder Woman. But yeah, really, really good film. Thoroughly enjoyed it. You know what we're going to do? We're going to give it a bit of depth now. Let's have a decide and see what we do here. Yeah, we want that. See, the more I look at it, the more I think maybe I made a mistake with the red wool. Maybe it does look better with the wood. It looks better with the wood. I hate that. I'm going to have to go all the way around and change it all again. But at least I know what I like. Yeah, it just looks more organic, doesn't it? It looks a lot less like a child's drawing, basically, if we add some texture to it. I'm very interested to see what they do with Aquaman too, because that has also been announced. And big fan of Jason Momoa. He is just a wonderful human. I remember reading a story about how he basically fought Emilia Clarke's corner on quite a few times when they were filming some of the more licentious and provocative scenes, shall we say, from Game of Thrones, and where she felt quite uncomfortable with what she was being asked to do in her role. And that he is a big advocate for equal rights and for standing up to anyone being bullied or being put in a position that they feel uncomfortable in. So a lot of time for that, and it's nice that they're still friends even now that Game of Thrones has finished. I've only seen the first 6 seasons of Game of Thrones because I've been told that seasons 7 and 8 are hot garbage. Not the good kind of hot garbage, more like the dumpster fire kind of hot garbage, but I will eventually get around to it because, you know, I'm a completionist and I do want to say that I've seen it, so I know why everybody was so incensed. I've heard a few bits and pieces, and I do understand that there are a lot of character arcs that don't reach the satisfying conclusion that they should, as per the books, which are still being written, apparently. I'll believe it when I see it. Picked myself up the set of the Game of Thrones novels about 2 months ago, before I left my job at the telecoms company. Probably a bit of a waste of money in retrospect, as I've only started one of them, and that money could have gone elsewhere, but hey ho, that's life. And it does look rather tasty. Yeah, I've just seen Sydney comment, don't get me started on Game of Thrones. I'm assuming that means that it is a dumpster fire from season 7 onwards, which is a shame. I'll be very disappointed if Brienne of Tal and or Tarth has a crap ending, because big fan of the old Captain Phasma, of Gwendolyn Christie, I want to say, whatever her name is. Great actress. It's something like that, I'm sure. Also a bit disappointed that the new James Bond movie has been delayed yet again. I'm probably never going to see it at this rate, which is a shame. Big fan of the Daniel Craig version of James Bond, just a bit more grounded in reality and a bit more gritty. And I mean, that opening scene from Casino Royale, where it's just black and white and it's kind of like film noir, and it shows him getting his kills to become a 00. It's just, that was the moment you realised it wasn't the campy, gadgety, you know, Pierce Brosnan James Bond. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I very much enjoyed the Pierce Brosnan version as well. It has its own merits, admittedly. But yeah, the Daniel Craig rendition was just on a completely different level. You can't compare the two, you really can't. Right, let's do a bit of staring here. Let's do the lip. We'll have the lip. Connery is the best Bond, according to Sydney. I would... Okay, again, if we're talking best versus favourite, best would be Craig, just because of the way technology has advanced, and obviously cinematography and storytelling and the rest of it. If we're talking my favourite Bond, Connery's in the conversation, although Roger Moore I think is probably going to edge it for me, just because of how ridiculous some of the films that he was in were. I've also got the Roger Moore pop vinyl, a limited edition one from Octopussy, I believe, which has nothing to do about octopuses or cats really. But go and watch the film. I think the best Bond film, if we're talking classic Bond, controversially, I would say A View to a Kill. Duran Duran do the song for it. Christopher Walken is the baddie, and it's just ridiculous. It's brilliant. Plays Max Zorin or Zorro. I want to say Max Zorin sounds right. And yeah, it's just a phenomenal film. Phenomenal. If I had to pick my favourite Bond film of all time, kind of thinking Brosnan and Craig now, it's a toss-up for me. A lot of people would say Skyfall. I enjoyed Skyfall. I wouldn't say it's my favourite. I'm torn between Casino Royale and GoldenEye, which were both the maiden voyages for each of the respective actors. I would probably go Casino Royale because of the grit, because of just all of it, really. I mean, you had the song by Chris Cornell, You Know My Name, at the beginning. It was based around the original, or one of the earliest, if not the first, James Bond novel, Casino Royale, which we waited for years to have adapted as fans. And I mean, yeah, Eva Green as I don't want to call her the Bond girl. She wasn't really a Bond girl. She had a substantial role. She was the first great love of Craig's James Bond, and the one that kind of motivated him into becoming the cold, calculating whatever we know and love. I mean, yeah, you see, it's got Mads Mikkelsen in there. It's got so many good actors. Dame Judi Dench, of course, as well as M, who is my favourite rendition of that character as well. And you can't say fairer than that, really, can you? She's a national treasure. What can you say about Dame Judi? She's just a wonderful actress, and we love her for it. Blimey, I've gone off on a massive cinematic rant this evening. I do apologise. Some great films, though. I love me a good movie. I'm looking forward to having a bit of time either tomorrow or Monday to watch the new Pixar movie. I say the new Pixar movie. I can't remember the blimmin' name of it now. It's got Tom Holland and Chris Pratt in from Guardians of the Galaxy and Spider-Man, respectively. It's a Pixar film. What's it called? That's going to bother me now. Is that right in the middle? Yeah, that is cool. Got to go quite classic Japanese style here. Is that right to the edge? Yeah, it needs to come in one. Oh, what the hell is it called? That's really irritating me. Sid, refresh me. What's it called? Because my brain's gone to crap tonight. Oh, so where they go on a journey to... it's magically based and stuff, and... It's not called Souls, because that's the one that's not released yet, I think. That's the one about the jazz singer, which, again, hugely on board with. That looks amazing, and I'm buzzing to see that one. Right, I'm Googling this. Okay, Google. Most recent Pixar films. It is called Onward. Darn it! And as I saw it, of course, because it's got a very similar font to Frozen in that just the font they use for the the promotional material and stuff, and that's gone horribly wrong there. But yeah, it looks very interesting. They seem to be going a lot more into death and, kind of maybe not quite taboo subjects, but certainly subjects you wouldn't expect children's movies to touch on. They're not really children's movies, though, I suppose, are they? I've certainly not classed them as that for a number of years. There we go, look at that. Very Japanese in style. And it's all balanced out. That looks good. Right, we are approaching the very end of the stream now, so I'm just going to start wrapping up. We're just going to quickly put some windows in there and a door. Let's go for the old classic wooden sprucey Brucey. And of course, the glass. We're British, so we say glass, darling, not glass. Glass. I don't know whether or not I want to do something fancy with the door. I think we're going to do this. Whoops. Where are you? And stripped oak log. And want to go for the dark oak. So what we're going to do is simply this. And then butter and butter. Oh, don't do that. Right, okay. Got a plan. That's how you do it. Now it looks just lovely. Just lovely, although I hate my brain and the way it works. Oh, okay. I thought the doors were not going to stay there. I thought we were kissing goodbye to those doors. So then what we do is that and that and that. And just like that, we've got a little overhangy bit. Wonderful. Okay, well that is just about time on the stream, so as always, thank you very, very much for watching. If you do enjoy the content that I put out, subscribe, hit that notification bell to be alerted to whenever I go live with one of these random gaming streams. Probably going to do another one tomorrow. Might not be Minecraft, might be something Spyro or Crash related maybe. Might be something completely random, who knows. Depends where the mood takes me. But until then, I'm going to go make myself a cup of tea, have some hobnobs, and maybe watch an episode of something on Netflix. So, until the next stream, thanks for watching. Love you, bye.